Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we are also going to take a look at a new Sons of Horus model. Now, this actually is something that I've kind of seen before, sort of. So someone on Twitter ordered Malygos the Twisted, and then when they got Malygos the Twisted, they took him out of the pack, and it was not Malygos the Twisted, it was like a totally different brand new model. Which, I mean, when it comes to like leaking stuff unintentionally, that's got to be one of the funniest ways to do it. So yeah, that's been floating around the last couple of days. I was confident that sooner rather than later they would address the fact that someone had been sent the wrong thing and show off the actual model with some proper high-res photos. And funnily enough, that's exactly what they've done. Obligatory fan apology, by the way, as in I've got a fan on because it's 33 degrees in here, and once again, that's pretty warm for around here, and I'm toasty. So, in order to avoid falling apart at the seams, background noise. In this month's Legion Dispatch, we're introducing a rather unexpected guest, the Sons of Horus Praetor. If you serve Horus the Warmaster and are looking for a suitably imperious character to command one of his Legion's armies on the battlefield, then you'll soon be in luck. In fact, you may already be in luck, yeah. I like the fact that they're directly addressing how this happened. Like, that's fun. I like that. Them just going, yeah, someone put it in the wrong package. I do like that approach. So, this is the Sons of Horus Praetor. Now, my first thought for this, straight off the bat, right, the scale on that is way different. The scale on that is way different. Just looking at it, that is not the same scale as like the Mark III or Mark IV plastic Marines, for a start. That is taller. You can see it in the legs. You can really tell looking at this guy. He is damn near close to being like fully true scale, this one. The torso is that little bit longer as well. It's a little bit more disguised here. It's Mark IV, but you can see where like where the thighs are, especially, those are longer than they are on the standard guys. And it also looks like where that kind of decorative piece on the chest is, where you've got that big old Eye of Horus in the centre there, it looks like the torso is a bit longer as well, which is what they've done with Castellan Crow as well, it's worth noting. I don't know whether Malygos looked particularly scaled up. I'm not sure, but this to me looks actually pretty close to just being fully true scale. It is definitely taller than a standard Mark IV Space Marine. I would put actual money on that. So yeah, an interesting choice, because that's going to make him stand out quite a bit more when it comes to fielding with a bunch of other infantry. And of course, as soon as you start scaling up your standard Space Marines, that introduces scaling issues with Terminators. So Terminators will start to look, more squat and not as big as they should. Now, if that's something they intend on continuing all the way through, then maybe not too bad, but it might stand out a little bit in your existing collection, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would prefer true scale stuff. I've always preferred the idea of Marines actually being like the right proportion for what they are supposed to be, but if you've already got a big old Sons of Horus army, having this guy be just that bit taller than everyone else might look a little bit weird. That being said, I do like the look of the model. There's some cool features to it. The helmet looks decent. I like the little crest at the back. The shoulder plates and one of the greaves there, having the Chthonian. I always get that wrong. Like it's like gang signs, isn't it? Because Abaddon used to put those all over his armour. I like that kind of extra detail on this. It's pretty fancy. I don't think overly so. I don't think it's like too in your face. There is a bit of extra detail. There are little bits here and there, but it's nothing. It's nothing massively in your face. It's just a bit more fancy than your standard lads. I do like the look of that Power Fist as well. That Power Fist looks cool. I like the chains, but then I like chains on models, so that sounds... Don't say that, that sounds wrong. Jesus. Overall, I do like this guy. Also, the bare head looks pretty damn similar to Horus, which is a nice touch, because within the Sons of Horus, there were Marines that looked uncannily like Horus himself, which is why Aximand was called Little Horus, because he looked exactly like him. It's just a nice touch, and I think they've done a good job of kind of copying the facial features there. It's nice. So, what else did they say? So, whether you prefer to assemble the miniature with the fearsome impassive helmet, or the head option that bears more than a passing resemblance to the Warmaster, his pose strikes a dynamic, powerful stance that should keep him stable when he swings that Power Fist, and he's got a Volkite pistol, which is nice. As with all Praetors, this guy can be used to represent any senior Legion commander of the Sons of Horus, etc, etc. If you're looking for inspiration, there's plenty of named officers, yeah, you can go that route. So, the Sons of Horus Praetor will be getting stuck in the battlefields of the Age of Darkness later in the year. Later in the year? How much later in the year? Though by quirk of fate, for which Tzeentch is almost certainly to blame, Some of you may have inadvertently received a copy of the miniature already, instead of the Malagos the Twisted you ordered. So yeah, but I mean that kind of implies that it's more of a widespread thing than just one person having that. I wonder if they like did an SKU thing, like gave two things the same value by accident or something, and so when someone orders it, it just goes off the line into the box, but it's not the right product for that. I don't know, something like that. Anyway. Maybe, I think actually looking at it, maybe Malagos is scaled up a little bit. It's a little bit hard to tell because he's got that pose where he's like leaning on the staff. So it's a little bit harder to tell. Plus there's that big old draper cloth down the front. But yeah. I reckon this looks pretty decent. It looks slightly different, like paint wise, again to Malagos. The gold on Malagos is not the same as the gold on the Praetor, which is interesting. I mean, I would have thought they'd try and keep it all as uniform as possible. It's similar, don't get me wrong, it's mostly similar, but there's a reddish hint to the gold on Malagos that's far more pronounced than on this model. Nothing to do with the quality of the model itself, obviously, but yeah, I quite like the look of the lad. Looks decent. Question is, what do you think? Good looking Praetor? Bad looking Praetor? Where's the Terminator one to go alongside him? Because isn't there always a Terminator Praetor as well? Do you reckon we'll see that later in the year, maybe? I'm guessing probably. I think this was probably something that was just on the back end. I reckon this was something that was probably like on the back end waiting to be announced, but then they had their little shipping issue and started sending it out by accident. So they were like, hey, look at this thing that we have, and now people already know about before we wanted them to. I think that is probably what happened. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon videos, regard all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you would like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.